The Trojan War took place 16,000 years ago, according to estimates and assumptions. Sometimes a different perspective on ancient texts leads to strange thoughts and conclusions. In the text here below, there's a strange reason that, in our opinion, is worth examining. In Book 4 of the Odyssey by Homer, it's described that Menelaus was stranded on the islet of Paros for many days. However, there was no one to help. A strange thing, perhaps, is that there is no mention by Homer of Egyptians and pharaonic Egypt in general, nor of the pyramids, which perhaps were visible from the island at that time. This could mean two things. One is that Homer, like us, we consider their presence at that time certain, therefore wanted to focus only on the story of the hero he describes. The second is that he does not mention them because they simply did not exist at that time, the pyramids in Egypt. If this reasoning can be correct, then we're automatically led to the conclusion that the Trojan War took place at a time when there were still no Egyptian pharaohs and when the pyramids had not yet been built. A date that could be suitable for the event of the Trojan War is around 16,500 years ago, when Homer lived, according to our estimates. And we present texts in his translations and comments from O Periplus, which we saw here, Homer's Odyssey, D 135 to 351 to 374. Quote, "In Egypt, the gods were still remembered for a long time because they had not yet poured out a complete hecatomb. The gods of the 4th century wanted to be remembered for their deeds. An island then lies in the midst of a sea. Egypt prepares, and Pharos, the islet, who are sailing around, so much so that the bright sun shines all day long, that they will breathe a little water behind. But rushing into the lake from where you are from, they know they throw you into the deep, blowing back black water. When I was a god, I was not seen by gods, nor by the wind, nor by the sea. First of all, the daughter of the old man, Eidothea, was born, for she was very angry with her. She who was with me was sick of the disease of her companions, for they were always wandering about the island, fishing for fish, and hunger filled their stomachs. And my anxiety stopped when I heard it. You know, my child, in such a flood, even a caliform, you were drunk, you suffered pains, as if you were on an island, and you could not find any food, and you did not know your companions. In Egypt, so that's the translation. In Egypt, I was looking for you to start here. The immortals held me back. I had not done the regular hecatomb, and they always want the orders that allow us not to miss them. They are islands in the many-waved sea. It lies directly opposite Egypt, and they call it Pharos. Far, to say the least, as far as a ship can reach in a day, if the headwind blows well to the end. And it has a sheltered harbor where ships sail out to sea to take in the dark water. For 20 days the gods had me locked up there, and winds from the seas did not blow my stern, which pushed ships across the ocean's shores. And they would no longer have missed us either food or men, had not the goddess who saved me taken pity on me, the daughter of the old seaman, the divine Proteus, Eidothea, whose heart I touched exceedingly. She found me wandering alone, far from others, who were fishing with their hooks, whose entrails were being cruelly ravaged by hunger. She stood near me and spoke to me and said, "Are you trying to be foolish and unscrupulous, stranger, or are you being left to your own devices? And do you want to be tyrannical? You are holding on to the island for a long time, but you are not able to find an end, and your companion's heart is melting in pain." End quote. Homer's ignoring pharaonic Egypt. This is evident from two elements. A. Menelaus is on the lighthouse island where today's Alexandria is, and yet there is absolutely nothing around him, and he and his companions face the specter of hunger. Whereas if pharaonic Egypt existed, then you would have found a way to buy food in an area that was teeming with life during the time of the pharaohs, even before the founding of Alexandria by Alexander the Great. B. Menelaus is not unaware of the existence of the kingdom of Thebes, as he mentions in previous verses, since he has a friendly relationship with their Greek kings. And I quote the excerpt, and this is the translation of it. And the silver basket was brought by Philo, which Alcandra, the wife of Polybus, had given her as a gift, who lived and plundered in Egypt at Thebes, and who had innumerable riches in his household. He gave her 2 silver baths of the son of Atreus, 2 tripods, and a mule of 10 talents each. And in Odyssey 4125 to 4130, then Zeus heard another Helen saying, he mixed a medicine in wine and drank it, and having drank the wine, all evil things were chosen. Whoever drank it on the criterion of the mixed, no priest would be able to see the tears on his cheeks, nor would the native mother or father. But let's go to the translation of that. Then Zeus's daughter Helen thought of this. From where they were drinking wine, she threw in herbs, soothing and intoxicating, that drowns all pain. Whoever swallows this mixed with a mortar will not shed a tear on his cheek all day long, even if his mother or his master die suddenly, or even before his eyes with a knife if they cut his beloved brother or his only one. Such were the medicinal herbs good for Zeus's daughter, Polymna, the sister-in-law of Thonis, who had given them to him in Egypt, where the rich land produced them innumerably. Some good for mixing and others medicinal. Every doctor there is worthy of the world. All of them know Phaon as their ancestor, and as if he threw these in and said to treat them, the conversation began, and this is what happens to them from the same rhapsody a little further down. So the inevitable question arises. 1. How is it possible that Homer is unaware of the pharaonic dynasty and the existence of the pyramids when Menelaus would obviously have seen if they existed and would have gone to ask for food? 2. Even if we accept that Homer is writing during the supposed Trojan times of 1350 BC, the pharaonic dynasty has already passed some 2,000 years, a period too long for someone to assume that it did not always exist and therefore not mention it. 3. Why is Homer convinced that only Greeks live in Egypt, as is evident from the mention of their origin, and not other peoples, who according to him do not even exist in the region in question? Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.